free to read through all the lies so see-through. See, we're all living in this prison, captivated by capitalism. When you're free, I'll be free too. When you're free, I'll be free too. When you're free, I'll be free. Free Palestine, free Turtle Island.
This is for that kid in Gaza searching for Superman. Sees Apache copters dropping bombs that shake the land. Whoa, damn, this shit preposterous. Open air prisons hit with clouds of white phosphorus. The rocket took his father, the shrapnel it hit his sister. Big brother became a martyr to fight off unwanted visitors. And you know where I stand. Resist, respect that shit. Check your privilege, cause you ain't getting hit. If you were, I'm sure you'd think the opposite. In fact, you know what? I'm pretty positive. Logic is safety should be most of our prerogative, but most of us are operatives to profit off this monolith. Damn. Guess we can't be cooperative. Guess it's safe to say life's so monstrous. Over 70 years of occupation, we way past the point of dialogue and conversation.
When you're free, I'll be free too.
We want a free, free Palestine.
When you're free, I'll be free too.
We want a free, free Palestine.
When you're free, I'll be free too.
We want a free, free Palestine.
When you're free, I'll be free too.
We want a free, free Palestine. And this little girl, she came up to me, had an olive in her fingers from her family tree. Asked me, know what this is? I said, yeah, I do. It symbolizes everything our people going through. True, I'm uprooted from my land, but I know who I am on any place that I stand. Gaza is the place where they test police tactics. We are all complicit when we pay our state taxes. Back to when they killed those kids playing on them beaches. Damn, they look like family, got me hella heated. Tell me what's humane about water deprivation. Counting calories, daily assassinations. It's a modern day manifest destiny. What perplexes me is how some people back this entity. Mama said
to have the honor to MC today, and we're gonna get started. I always like to just check in with everyone and see where your energy level is up, so that we can be building up our energy to give everyone some love. So can we do a practice run of just showing Megan and Kim and all of the beautiful organizers of Manifest Differently how much we appreciate all of the beautiful work that they've done here and how they've transformed this space and this moment in time. And welcome to all of you. Thank you for coming and honoring, making this moment so special. My name is MK Chavez, and I am here with my dog, Squirrel Bear Chavez, who is sitting with a new friend who's a trainer. So please come up and introduce yourselves to us. It's my honor to begin the day by introducing the two visionary heart people who have held this space, who have made this moment possible. There's so many people involved, but you know, everything starts with a spark from an individual or a couple of individuals. So I want to introduce poet artist Kim Shuck, who is my heart, who I love very much. I want to acknowledge her the work that she's done in this moment here for this project. But I also want to acknowledge Kim for being one of our most active community change makers. So excited to be part of this celebration today, Kim. And I'd like to invite and acknowledge Megan Wilson, camp co-director. And I want to say I've known Megan now for quite a few years. And it's been a joy to see all of the things that you've created in the time that I've known you. Also one of our dear change makers here in the Bay Area. I'm so happy to see you both here today, so happy to honor you both. Welcome.
Thank you. We are getting off to a little slow start here today, but that's the way Clarion Alley rolls. So welcome to Clarion Alley Mural Project. Our mission is to support and produce socially engaged and aesthetically innovative art, public art, locally and globally as a grassroots artist-run organization based in San Francisco's Mission District. And CAMP is the leading organization for Manifest Differently that we're here to celebrate today. As we know, every project has an origin story. For me, the origin story of Manifest Differently began in 1643, when my ancestor Benjamin Wilson was sent from England as a 7-year-old orphan to serve the British settler colonizers of the Massachusetts Bay Colony on the land they had invaded and stolen from the indigenous peoples who were and still are its rightful stewards. 11 generations later, as a child in Montana, I would survive alcoholism starting at age 14, 2 suicide attempts at the age of 15, and the brutal assault of my mother's married boyfriend at 16, which caused me to be forced to leave my home and be on my own at the age of 16, working at Burger King 30 hours a week while I finished high school. That man's name was Robert E. Lee, actually. These early experiences are what shaped me and how I understood the world, its inequities, and the cruelties of capitalism as a system rooted in racism, misogyny, ecocide, and white male dominance. And art would become one of the tools for healing and for working in opposition to the greater forces that had created that pain, and that still do for so many of us. During COVID, as I grieved the death of my mother, I spent time looking more closely into our family's history, which includes my ancestors who became early members of the Mormon Church and migrated west by wagon train, spreading disease as they moved. My grandfather would go on to leave the Mormon Church as a result of the lies and hypocrisy he experienced. Throughout my family's history, the themes of generational violence, trauma, and addiction came up again and again, as did the resistance and resilience, like that of my grandfather and myself. It was at this time during COVID when Kim Shuck and I were working on a different project, and we began talking about the history of this country and the ethos it evolved from, which is one of conquest and control, of violence, expropriation, ecocide, dehumanization, and erasure. It's what John O'Sullivan glorified in 1845 through the phrase manifest destiny, when he was writing about the ongoing dispute with Britain over boundaries and the right of the United States to claim Oregon. However, his words had much deeper implications and assumptions about the morality, divinity, freedom, and presumed superiority of a white America. We are now witnessing the impacts of this belief system in the devastation it's spread around the globe through its complete carelessness and disregard for anything that is not tied to a profit motive. And it was from there that we began developing Manifest Differently, and that we began looking to community and the power of community. As a result, we have a powerful group of 19 visual artists, media and visual artists, 19 poets, and to support them, we have a historian and 5 humanities advisors and 7 presenting sites, which you can read about in the program or on our website, our new website, manifestdifferently.org. And as we know, it takes a powerful group of, as we know, it takes a huge team to make something like this happen. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge some of the folks who've made this possible and for whom we are so grateful and inspired. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to you, to my collaborator, Kim, for going on this crazy adventure with me together. And thank you to our core organizing team, Katayoun Bahrami, project coordinator and assistant curator, Katayoun. To Veronica Torres, communications and social media specialist, Veronica. Trisha Lagaso Goldberg, one of our curators who unfortunately was not able to be here today. She had planned something before this began. To Amy Berk, our education curator. Amy. To to Drake Manalo for the vibrant graphic design of Manifest Differently, RJ Ramey, who created the mobile responsive website, Patrick Kelly for painting our signage, Community Thrift Store for 30 years of supporting our work. Woo, Community Thrift, yes. Sean Levon Nash and Viri Perez for writing the land acknowledgement, which we're on part of it, but you can walk through the alley when we're not all here and read the land acknowledgement. And to our presenting partners, Artist Television Access, ATA, woo, yes. Minnesota Street Project, the San Francisco Public Library, Book Castle, and the Beat Museum. And to our funders and supporters, the California Art Council, the Creative Work Fund, CCA's Center for Art and Public Life, the San Francisco Art Commission, and the Zellerbach Family Foundation. Without them, we would not be here today. Thank you. And last of all,
I just want to share that I'm really happy to see this come together. We started talking about it, not necessarily to display our wounds to one another, but in order to get a multicultural, and I know that phrasing has lost some of its meaning over the time, but I need you to hear it as what I mean. People from a lot of different cultures and communities getting together to start a deeper conversation about how to work together. I'm from a mixed family. My mother was actually born a couple blocks from here at St. Mary of Help, and her parents met at the Polish Hall, which is off that way. So I am literally from here, right here. My father is from northeastern Oklahoma, part of the removed Cherokee Nation, and they met on Market Street in a story that's really great. Corner me sometime, I'll tell it to you. And I grew up in this place. And I didn't know until 2 years ago that a lot of people didn't know that Native women are subject to the levels of violence that we are. I thought everybody knew it and just wasn't doing anything. And finding out that people didn't know made me want to start some conversations between folks so that I could find out what other people were going through that I didn't know about. Because we're under all these pressures all the time, all these stresses, and we tend to start to focus on our own stuff and not realize there's a bigger system that's causing all of it, and that together we sort of outnumber the problem. But first we have to learn how to be gentle with one another. Mm-hmm. So this project was to create, for me, a start on some of that communication and to make something beautiful. And I think we have. There are 10 new murals in the alley. There are a lot of great poems coming out of this project. You won't hear all of them today, but there are a lot of them. And I'm just really glad to share this moment with all of you, because I was sitting here the other day feeling like I was sitting in the center of a Venn diagram of prayers. And that was a pretty powerful feeling. So thank you. I am also tasked with giving the verbal land acknowledgement, which is hilarious in some ways. But my people are from 3,000 cultures east of here, so I figured it was kind of okay, because I am not on my homeland either. But I don't want to do the out-of-the-box land acknowledgement that we're all getting used to ignoring at the beginning of events. And everybody laughed, so I know I'm not wrong. I want you to think about what a land acknowledgement really is. It's a recognition of an entire biome that people evolved with, that everyone has a responsibility to everyone else, and we are prevented at this time from meeting our responsibilities in many cases. And that is a huge wound. So I just want you to understand, those of you who don't get this already, I'm translating here, that we are on the unceded land of the Ramaytush. And because we are here, in many cases, they are prevented from meeting their sacred obligations to place and neighbor. And that's what the land acknowledgement's really about. It's not just another thing that we hear at the beginning of an event. I thank you so much for being here, and it is my absolute delight and pleasure to introduce you to Stephen Meadows, the current Poet Laureate of El Dorado County, another hybrid person from this place, but who is also of the Ohlone that are from around Carmel. Please welcome to this microphone, Stephen Meadows.
Well, it's difficult for me to express what an honor it is to be at this reading, because I've known Kim for some time now, but a marvelous poet, wonderful person. I know many of you from reading with you, and my wonderful wife Carly over here, who supports me all the way. So, anyway, the first poem I'll read is called "In the Water Over Stones," and it is from my great Aunt Isabel, an early Ohlone in California. Your voice, Isabel, is a quail's voice, as the sun's song ticks in the brush. It is the hawk's voice and the heart's heat of the rabbit in the parched summer grass. Nearby in the river, in the water over stones, it is a willow voice. It is a crayfish voice in the hollows, in the darkening places. At first light, it is the wind's voice, the mouth of the river Tule voice, the voice of 100 breezes. The sun marks out the red madrone, and in the canyons, it is a redwood voice, a sycamore voice, sweet scented. In the spring, it is the lupin voice, a blue, white, and purple coverlet voice all over the hills and the meadows. On the river banks, as the set fires burn and the steelhead run, it is the hunter's voice, flinging the gleamers silver on the sand. Though the houses of rich men now cover these hills, it is your spirit voice, your evening voice, your voice of the western waters. The stars hang out over the point of wolves. On the edge of the world, the sea lions call. The otters break open abalone. It is the voice of the land. It is the voice of bright shells. It is the voice of the valley and the mountain, Isabel. It is the voice of the people, too. It is the weaver's voice. It is the young girl's voice, the gatherers and the singers and the farmer's voice, the wives and the children's and the old woman's voice. It is the Indian voice, and the whalerman's voice, and the voice of the servant escaping. It is the voice of your face across the years, Isabel, in my grandfather's face, in my father's face, and in my face as well. It is the voice of the ones on the edges, Isabel. It is the voice of those ones with no voices. Hawk and rabbit, quail and brush, water and willow and crayfish and stone, wind in the canyons, daylight through limbs, the lupin, the steelhead, the cook fire's call, beans and tortillas, your memories, Isabel, talking to us all.
I am so excited to introduce our next speaker, who will be bringing a blessing to us. I'd like to introduce Mary Travis Allen, President of the American Indian Cultural District, to join us. Please, let's give her a really warm welcome.
Not that tall. tried a long time ago, but I couldn't stretch that far. Good afternoon. Welcome. You know, I like to start always to have everybody take a deep breath in. We're grateful for that breath that's given to us, and we should never take that for granted. I see other elders here are shaking their head, so you'll understand that when we rise in the morning and we're vertical, right? We're very appreciative of that. I was born and raised here in San Francisco. Born in San Francisco General. Hey. So these streets are my streets. This city has been both welcoming and unwelcoming. Because as a child, I'm 67. So as a child, we lived in the Tenderloin, we lived in the Fillmore, we lived in the Mission and the Lakeview, because that's the only place we were allowed to live. We'd knock on doors, doors would slam. It was pretty blatant then. My mother was Mayagna Chortega from Central America, Nicaragua. And my father from the Allegheny Reservation, Seneca. So, for those of you here that have heard the prophecy of the eagle and the condor, I live that in my blood. And that prophecy is here now. I have to acknowledge the Ramaytush Ohlone people, and in particular, a matriarch, Leandra Ventura Ramos, who, her family, her descendants, are still on this land. Today is the first day of fall. It is the time we prepare for the cold months, to harvest, come together, and change. What was taken from many families that came here on relocation is our ceremonies. Because each season, there was a ceremony, there was a preparation, there was how we prepared ourselves for every step of our lives, from birth through adolescence, adulthood, giving birth, and yes, ending that season, that cycle. But there was a celebration. It wasn't fear. It was how we lived. And we were the people of wherever we lived. We had labels put on us, right? When these people came in, and this is throughout, where they labeled, they couldn't say the words that we called ourselves, so they relabeled us. But we were the people of the valley. We were the people of the hill. We were the keepers of the water. We had specific things that we, in our societies, did. And it was natural. It is how we survived. And when things became scarce, we would move to another place and continue those ceremonies and those ways of living. When we were brought here to the concrete, we had to make adjustments. And we had other people that came from other nations. So we started combining what those things and how we would continue to survive in this place. And we told our stories. Our elders told us our stories, told us the power of our medicines. and how we had the responsibility of sharing that and passing it on. But each one of us was needed. Each one of us was important. Each one of us had a purpose. And that purpose was to continue the traditions, to recognize Creator in everything that was provided for us, and recognize the Spirit in each and every one of us, to make us better and not tear down, to make us stronger and not weaker, to come together and to be stronger and continue on. The American Indian Cultural District was founded in March 2020. And it was through the legislation of the Board of Supervisors that established cultural districts. So they designated a certain part of this city, which to me is funny, okay? Because having lived in every part of this city and understanding that the original people here are the ones that had all this. They were the keepers of this land. We didn't own the land. That concept of ownership of the land was not part of who we are. We respected the land. We took care of the land. The land took care of us. And that's true of peoples throughout. We didn't create borders. Those people hungry for property created those borders. Many of our ancestors told stories in pictures. They put it on the rugs. It was this place, this happened. It was part of the story that passed down. So if people that came and put their hands on that rock would feel what had happened. It wasn't just visual. It was that spirit that put it there. It's been said that art reflects life, and life is reflected in art. But what is art? Art is me speaking to you right now, because it comes from my heart and spirit. The murals that have been put up here are spirits. Identifying the matriarchs up there, there's been many matriarchs. And we appreciate that in the work that was done by Barbara, Victoria, and all the artists here. Because it elevates, right? It feels good. We have a right to feel good. And for some, it is a memory lesson. It is reminding the spirits that are listening of what has been, what can be, what will be. Because as long as we come together, as long as we're able to pray together, and pray is whatever you interpret it to be, whether it be that moment in time that you just need help, or that time and place where you're doing ceremony. It's prayer. And prayer is intended to build you, to touch that spirit. Your spirit is old. It's old. It's not just here and now. We know this. Our people, we know this, because there are times that our ancestors are really tugging at us or slapping us in the head. My mother and aunt used to go through the mission, and it was such a social event. I grew up loving it, the foods, what they smelled like. seeing family, seeing friends, making friends. Collectively, families coming together and what that meant. You know, these days so many times people walk by each other and it's like you're not there. You know? Sometimes I stop people and I tell them, I haven't become a spirit yet. Right? It's important to acknowledge each one of us. We're human beings. We're not perfect. We're not meant to be perfect. But in understanding your imperfection, there is a balance. Right? Something makes you better. And it's that understanding. I'm not a wise old matriarch. I'm just wise and old. And I like it that way. We need to be thankful. We need to uplift and thank you for the art that uplifts us. And we're just a small part of that. There are many people here, you know, Alberta, Mary Jean, Debbie, people that I've known as comrades, people that I've known as children, people that I've just known, whether it be for a moment, an hour, a lifetime. It's important. Megan, thank you for your words, but you're here now. You're building forward. We are here now. We are building forward. Thank you, Creator, for bringing us all here together. Thank you for the strength of all these spirits here. Thank you for this time, this place, the sun, the earth, the water, the air that we breathe. Thank you for now. Thank you for the future. Aho.
Now, I'm really excited to invite Barbara Mumby-Huerta to come up and do something very special. Welcome, Barbara.
How do you follow Mary? I have to have gifts. I think that's the only way I'm going to top you. At first, though, I know we've had a lot of thank you, but I really want to thank Megan and her partner Christopher, because coming out in this alley every day, it was such a joy and such a healing opportunity. I try not to fangirl over Jet and Chris, some of my artistic heroes. I think I did okay. I didn't ask for autographs, but you fostered such a welcoming, healing environment here, and that takes a very special kind of leadership. And I just wanted to give Megan a little token of appreciation, because in our culture we do a lot of, it's shared amongst many Native communities. We're big on reciprocity and giving gifts. That's why we're always broke. So I just want to.
Okay, now I know.
And you know, Kim Shuck is one of those friends that when you ask her to do something, she does it. And so when she asks me to do something, I do it. And that would probably include hiding a body if necessary. That's the kind of friends we have. And I think a lot of the ladies on that mural probably have been in those positions. But I won't give you up your secrets. But when I was asked to do this, I reflected on what was really important to me. And the past few years have been really challenging. And these women are people that many of them I have on speed dial, on my text. They're there to give me a word of encouragement, uplifting. They are my aunties, my abuelas, my friends, my role models. And every day I sit out here, and right now 133 hours, probably another 30 to go. Every hour, every brushstroke was in prayer for these women. And I just hoped and prayed I could capture the beauty and power that they showed to me. And it's been my honor. This is not a gift from me to you. You are a gift to me and the community. And everyone that has walked by as I worked wanted to know your stories, wanted to know why you were on. I didn't give them the secret stories, Mary, don't worry. Nothing incriminating. They wanted to know why I chose you all. And that was challenging for me because I did think about those matriarchs that have passed. That list was so long. I would be painting this entire alley. And so I had to figure out a way to narrow it. And I thought, who are those 13 women that inspire me, that heal me, that I love? Some of you I've met more recently, like Concha, but I knew you from the community. I reached out to people I loved and respected, and your name was the name that had to be on there. And as what Mary said, it was about honoring those prophecies between the condor and the eagle. You are on top to show that we don't recognize colonial borders. That is why you're there. And for all that you give to your community, and every single one of you give in your own way, in very different ways. And I'm so proud to know you. And we are so lucky to have each one of you in our community. So thank you. And with that being said, your stories were so inspiring, not just to me, but to Clarion Alley. And they wanted to honor you in a way that is traditional for us. So I have 8 lovely women who will come up. Come on up, ladies. And they are going to present each of you with a blanket, which is traditional for us. And I always like to explain it. Diane, can you come up as well? So they're going to present you each with a blanket, and they're hopefully going to drape it around your shoulders. Thank you. And what this symbolizes is the love of community. And that will, when you feel alone, you feel cold, you drape those blankets over you and know that community loves you, are inspired by you. And thank you for all that you've done. There's also another little gift bag as well for you all. So I won't take the mic. I do like the microphone. I'm very introverted until you get a mic in front of me. But I will turn it back over to our lovely MC, and thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara, for leading that beautiful honoring.
Thank you.
I would like to invite all of you to remember that we can make honoring a part of every day, that we should honor the people in our community who do so much on our behalf. So thank you, all of you. It's beautiful to watch you be recognized. So I would like to welcome Paloma Flores, who will be bringing beautiful music to us. Give her a warm welcome.
How are you doing? Come on, I know we're in the city by the bay, that's 7 by 7, San Francisco, California, also known as the SFC, the SCO, San Pancho. So, San Francisco, how are you doing? Let's hear you down the way. my job here is done. I hope you enjoyed the musical performance today. Prior to me coming up, and I actually don't go by Paloma Flores, that is my work name, but I am not here in any work capacity. I'm here as a human being offering what I can, some energy, some life breath, and the words that I put together. But before I do so, we'd actually like to respectfully call up Aunt Debbie and Grandma Alberta because it is culturally appropriate within our protocol to offer a song following the gifting of blankets. So you all just saw many of our elders get offered a blanket recognizing their leadership contribution and larger play to this beautiful city here on behalf of the communities they represent. So I was just informed as I made my way up here that Auntie and Grandma want to offer a song. So don't go anywhere. I see you guys walking away. My name is Paloma Flores, but you might know me as Miss Lucky Lady Dove. P-Flow. Delici. That means love. And this song, for you who know it, sing it with me when I get to the hook. And for you who don't know it, this is for y'all too, okay? All right, group with me one time. Okay. Show some way. That means how are you doing? Listen. Okay, let's get with it now. Everybody love that Indian, but hate the truth. If it ain't about no spirit talking, drink, hugging, well, oof, they don't want none. No, do they wanna hear it? Cause truthfully, honestly, we're the only ones still doing that good fight. Fight for visibility, recognition, respect, acknowledgement of our very existence. Yeah, we the only ones still be about it. Because in school they had you believing their golden rule. Play the fool, sipping that Kool-Aid from the get. Had you believing we never existed. But hold up, let me tell you one time, we are still here. Cause we've always been here. And we ain't going nowhere. Never let, cause I listen despite all attempts on our lives. We keep it moving, cause from the get, they policy said the only good in the end is a devil policy. Yeah, feel it with me now. We got the heart of a warrior, mind of a scholar, spirit of an ancestor, and we're building for tomorrow, yeah. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day, yeah, okay. We got the heart of a warrior, mind of a scholar, spirit of an ancestor, and we're building for tomorrow, yeah. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Okay, everybody love that Indian, but hate the truth. We born into a generation prophesizing you. Well, we build upon that legacy of them ones who gave their lives against our fight enemy. Say her name, I'm an Indian, and I'll always be. And I hope I can be a good representative of my people and of my tribe. You are Wilma Makala, Alcatraz. It wasn't just a movement, it was the catalyst. H. Walker, Zudas, and Helen, we miss you. Yeah, and you are the truth of what can be done for the people, by the people in that city, by the bay. That 707 built on, well, stolen land and taking lives. But here we are, right beneath your feet. It's no lie, it's us, no matter what. All around you be this concrete, but I'ma tell you like that wind blowing in the breeze. Let's keep it moving. We got that heart of a warrior, mind of a scholar, spirit of an ancestor, and we're building for tomorrow, yeah. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Say it with me now. We got that heart of a warrior, mind of a scholar, spirit of an ancestor, and we're building for tomorrow, yeah. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Okay, we're not your Pocahontas, no, nor your mascot, nah. We are not even trying to be that wooden Indian in front of their stove till City Hall to give more. Then they have taken on the built upon it. Because if not for our future, then when? If not for these babies, then why? If not for them, then how? Look, if not for our babies, then why? If not for our future, then now. If not for the movement, how? We got that mind of a scholar, spirit of an ancestor. Come on now, say it with me. We got that heart of a warrior, mind of a scholar, spirit of an ancestor, and we're building for tomorrow, yeah. We got the heart of a warrior, mind of
spirit of an ancestor, and we're building for tomorrow. We got the heart of a warrior, mind of a scholar, spirit of an ancestor, and we're building for tomorrow, y'all. For the lineup they have today, because yes, I did see the email, Megan. I did see the email. I understand that we have some beautiful performances coming up after your break, but I'm gonna just gauge, because it's all about this interaction between and y'all. Who wants one more song? Okay. Well, we shall proceed then. And don't forget, you got that red ticket for some food. Lama, eat, comida, over there. Right there. Alright. So it's all about balance. Yeah? Balance. I'm a Libra. Yeah. This is what I do. Alright. Look. Just like the other one, you gotta feel this. Come on now. You gotta feel it. I mean, I'm gonna start dancing. Alright. I kind of plug my back against the wall. Literally, no. Yeah. Alright, check it. It's a new. I got my daddy blood running through my veins. See this work ethic, it really changed. We was made for this from the beginning. Yeah, if it wasn't for that, for his struggle, for the fact that he had to cross it, well, it crossed him, cause he came up from Michoacan in a place we was poorer than poor. He told me, look me, I had to straight get out and roll, cause it's in our DNA, yeah. We call this blood memory, hey, love, we got that work ethic, we're gonna make it regardless, no matter what they tell us, listen. Don't get me twisted like some braids. This is in our DNA. What? We got that work ethic. We gonna make it regardless, no matter what they tell us. Okay, Daddy, so he told me he first landed in my place of SoCal, Los Angeles. Now, first job was a busboy at Sears. Then told me, listen, the first photograph I ever took was when I landed there. Real, for real. He told me then I made my way up north, picking fruits along the way. It was peaches and everything, cherries and apples, you see. That's the time they said you wanna go further north. He said, yup, what happened? Well, he went to that place where they say they have crazy California Indians. And well, that's the place where he met my mama. That's the makings of this lady named Pete. Do you know what I mean? Now, it's in our DNA, yeah. We call this blood memory, hey, yeah. Love, we gonna make it regardless, no matter what they tell us, because the part of the makings. And now, don't get it twisted like some braids. I was made for this, made out the gate. So now I'm here to tell you that blood be running through these veins is fire that I can't stop. I won't stop, no. Yeah, so I wrote that for my daddy, cause my daddy is a rock builder, and he taught me, man, you work smart, but remember, you're laying your own rocks, your own stones, to build a foundation that'll last beyond the moment. Yeah. And that be that. Thank you, Megan. Stick around and celebrate. Manifest differently. 2023. Sakti. That means I go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lian Ladia, and on behalf of the Clarion Alley Mural Project's Board Advisory, we wanted to welcome you to the celebration of Manifest Differently. want to acknowledge all the elders, the families, the women, three-spirited, the children in this space. Welcome, everybody. We also, of course, most importantly, want to congratulate and thank the artists and poets involved in this project. They are wearing flower pins, so please talk to them and acknowledge them if you see them. To the artists, thank you for making this alley's mission come into fruition, where we all say that this alley is a place where culture and dignity speak louder than the rules of private property. Thank you to artist Poet Kim Shuck and Camp's co-director, artist Megan Wilson, in creating a coalition of powerful poets, artists, in using storytelling as a tool to help provide deep witness, compassion, and inspiration to manifest differently. To manifest beyond the systemic institutions of whiteness and binaries we've inherited, to an acknowledgement of the removal, enslavement, displacement, and disenfranchisement of indigenous people, people of color, and many wage workers. With a lens of visual and literary storytelling that is intersectional, intergenerational, and is rooted with an expansive vision of community, multiplicity, and plurality. I wanted to acknowledge the artists who created the new murals who are here, and also acknowledge the artists who are not here who created the murals. Thank you, Barbara Mumby, who created Our Matriarchs, which features 13 living indigenous women who have done exceptional things to support and uplift the community. I believe the mural is over there. Thank you, Marcel Pardo Ariza. With this mural over here, it says, "Hire trans folks." How to make the workplace more inclusive while also providing financial stability, job security, gender-affirming healthcare, access to all gender restrooms, and a sustainable future for trans people. Thank you, Caroline Castaño, who created tropical geometries, inspired by a textile pattern called ruana, worn in the Andes. The patterns become a geometric abstraction used to reimagine ideas of modernity, progress, and simultaneity of cultures, envisioning the future. Thank you, Megan Wilson, for the mural Dance the Songs, honoring indigenous cultures of plants and animals. Thank you, Biko Eisen-Martin, for creating a mural as a memorial to the beloved poet Q.R. Hand, who celebrated and elevated Black pride and culture using jazz, rhythm, and just talk. Thank you, Chris Gazaleh, responding through the lens of the Palestinian experience and a call to action to the violence of apartheid. I believe the mural is over there. Thank you, Katayoun Bahrami, for this mural, with the inspiring message dedicated to women, life, and freedom. Thank you, Victoria Canby, creating the mural, which provides us a glimpse to the deep reverence of ceremony and ritual. I believe the mural is over there. Thanks, Amy Berk. Thank you. Who organized the mural with youth members who created the mural with the thoroughness of community and collaboration. Thank you, everybody, and congratulations to the artists and organizers once again. With that, I wanted to pass the mic to one of Manifest Differently's featured artists, also the director of City Studio and Adderete, a free after-school youth art program artist and educator Amy Berk.
Thank you, Lian. Hey everyone, what an amazing, powerful event this is. I was just blown away earlier today with the blanket ceremony. I think everybody here was in tears. It was so beautiful, it was so moving. It was just what I needed on this crazy first day of fall. So thank you for that. I want to tell you a little bit about my program, and while I'm getting my notes together, I want to, on your way out today, please stop by and get one of the prints that were made this summer by my teenagers and mentor artists as part of Adderete, Manifest Differently. Our project, our mural is that way. It's the little house with the Yerba Buena vines connecting everybody's different piece. So please go check that out. And please listen to the QR code. We have interviews of all the artists involved by the curator, Joyce Grimm. It's on the website. You can be on your phone. Check it out. It's a lovely piece. But so you are heard who I am. I'm Amy Berk. And first, as everyone here, I'd like to thank Megan and Kim and the whole Manifest Differently team for giving me and my Adderete teens the opportunity to challenge ourselves in rethinking Manifest Destiny and the impact it has caused on the land, the people, and the environment. Along with Chris Trajari, who you will see at the printing bike over there, the mobile art bike, we founded a program called Adderete, which combines art and activism and is made up of teenagers and mentor artists. We create a space for everyone to explore their own passions, both visually and conceptually, and to share them with different communities. These young artists come from all over the Bay Area. They hear about the program through word of mouth, their teachers, community programs. They apply with a few images of their artwork and a paragraph about why they want to participate. Students work together, learning from each other and the mentor artists, creating meaningful work for themselves and the public. This semester, we've partnered with Planet Drum, who is celebrating their 50th anniversary this season, and we will be going to various Planet Drum events and working with them and creating our own bundle, which is a kind of a deconstructed zine. Some of you may have seen and know about these bundles that Planet Drum has been doing for years. There's an exhibition of the first and second bundle from the mid-70s at the SF Public Library on the 5th floor right now. You can check that out. And I'm just going to shout out Kim's exhibition is still up on the 6th floor. So Kim Shuck's visual work is up there. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. But this is one of the biggest and most public of the works that Adderete has done so far. And I commend all of my team. Oh, there they are. I see some of them. Hey, for their energy, enthusiasm, and ability to think and work creatively and collaboratively. Well, that's a big word. Collaboratively. You can't say it. Collaboratively. Can you all say that for me? Collaboratively. Yeah, thank you. Now that really defined the word, didn't it? So I thank you for that.
You did it on purpose.
I didn't, but I'm going to say I did. That's good. So thank you for that and for coming and for sharing this day with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lian and Amy, for coming up and sharing your words and telling us more about all the behind-the-scenes work that's being done to support this moment and to support this project moving forward. I'm really excited to introduce our first poet of the afternoon. I think it's amazing when people are poets and then also organize and do amazing things, and I'm really glad that we can take a few minutes to listen to Kim Shuck's amazing poetry. Welcome, Kim. Can we have a really big round of applause to the energy up a little bit?
How often can we remake this unbridgeable breach? whales rising, surface, breach. Land people don't recognize a sign, a handshake. Cross cultures don't always recognize the work of balancing the breaths. Rise, breach. Scars of netting clear on the skin in the breaths. Rise, breach. Passive violence, variations, one meant another, these equivalencies. Clearing a foot of ground to see what grows, to crack the seed, the shell, to uncoil, first into soil, into August soil, semi-arid, the serrated coast, walking past the rock face. I press my fingers into the folds, dry, pried at by this decorative import, and that fast-growing but misplaced wood. What are your stories, colonizer tree? How do we become neighbors? Divination lost, the catcher of crows, the strange and unfamiliar four-legged called with paint and names. We are patchwork bird pieces of exhausted instruments, stooped under the low ceiling of the living room in admiration of feathers we douse with. What is sought? What sought? The best of personal symbols, of drawn symbols in a collection of pressed clouds we can send to political prisoners. The abalone table, the written ankle chain. What have we made of these beautiful transgressions?
Thank you, Kim Shuck. I'm really excited to bring up our next poet, Linda Noel. Please welcome Linda Noel.
Thank you. It's really great to be here, and I have to commend Kim and Megan for being innovative and taking on such a project. And Manifest Destiny played out its last cards in California. Part of that being them not ratifying 18 treaties with tribes in California, which left California in a very different situation than many of the natives in the rest of the country, and we are still living with it today. And in that light, I'm going to read a poem that comes from the Poa people. It comes from my ex-husband, and I always say that in the divorce, he got the good car, but I got the stories. And so this is an example of broken promises. Maybe they couldn't make the shoe fit the foot for Clara Williams and those who waited. Bring some shoes to the rancherie. They never did, no. All the people waited, though. His grandma remembered they all washed their feet that day. The man was coming all the way from Sacramento. They waited and waited. Finally, he came, but he didn't bring no shoes. He took some paper and measured their feet, got their sizes, and said he would bring shoes back. And all the Indian people were glad because they didn't have no shoes. They waited and waited. He never did return. Phil's grandma would laugh, remembering the story of the white man bending at the feet of old Indian women who had never before worn white man's shoes. They wondered what he thought. There was something about how he would measure the foot, then write it down and look up at them as if to say, what odd and ugly feet. The old woman's laughter is our own as we speak. Maybe they didn't know how to make shoes to fit Indian feet, or maybe the sight of their feet frightened him away.
Linda, thank you for your beautiful and healing words. It's wonderful to hear you. Let's give Linda some love, please. I don't know if everyone's hitting the afternoon slump after you've had the delicious food, but our next reader is going to help bring your energy up. Now, I just saw our next poet, and now I don't see them. But I know they're going to come. So let me just tell you about how deeply I love this poet. Josiah Luis Alderete who is a community organizer, a bookstore owner, a book peddler, an amazing human being, who's also an amazing writer and performer. So I'd like to welcome Josiah Luis Alderete. See, I knew if I said your name in a particular way, you would just manifest. Yes, I like that. Welcome.
Hola, everybody. Hola. What a beautiful day. What is this? Are you tethering me? Am I tethered to this? It's going to be interesting.
You broke it.
That wasn't my intention, but this is very complicated for me. I'm still a typewriter stucco kind of guy. Okay. Yeah, what I was saying, what a beautiful day, huh? What a beautiful day to come celebrate this beautiful project. I was overcome, I will admit it, when I walked up this alley and saw QR's face staring at me. I really want to say gracias to Biko for creating that, because that Q's been a part of this history of this city, of this literary city for so long. So just, I don't know. All the other pieces are amazing, but that you know what I'm saying? For real, QR hand presente. That's right. So, does anybody know what a tlaxcali is? It's okay if you don't. You will not be reprimanded if you don't know what a tlaxcali is. A tlaxcali was the Nahuatl word, Nahuatl being the language, one of the languages that the Mexicas spoke. And I see some Mexica descendants in the audience right now, at the risk of jumping to conclusions. But anyway, the Mexica pronounced these balls of masa. They got flattened out and put on a comal and heated and then eaten. They called them tlaxcalis. And when the Spaniards invaded, you know, the Europeans talk funny. They looked at the tlaxcali and they said tortilla, you know? So here we are. I guess that is to say we are much older than the mistranslations that the colonizers put on us. That is to say that according to the white Western calendar, the first tortilla made it to outer space in the year 1985. The person credited with getting the tortilla into outer space in the year 1985, according to the white Western calendar, was a Mexican astronaut named Rodolfo Neri Veli. You see, Veli requested to NASA that tortillas be put as part of the meal rations on the Space Shuttle Atlantis, which Neri was a crew member on, you know. NASA thought about it for a minute and said, órale pues. Now that first tortilla to make it to outer space in the year 1985 was in fact not a corn tortilla. Oh, no. It was a flour tortilla. I know. But no, before you all start hating too much on the flour, I want you to know one thing. The sweetest memoria I have of mi mamá grande, of mi querida abuela, is of her getting up every morning to make a big batch of handmade flour tortillas. You see, back then, Mama just opened this Mexican restaurant, so my Mama Grande would get up every mañanita and make this big pile of handmade flour tortillas, and Mama would then take to the restaurant. So I get up in the mornings, go down the steps, and I could hear the click-clack, click-clack, click-clack of me, Mama Grande's rolling pin every morning. As she flattened out the bolitas of masa, take them off their little flat wooden cutting board, put them on the comal, flip them over and over again with her 2 fingers until they'd start to puff out, and then she'd take them off the comal and lay them on the long counter next to her to cool off. And you know, by the end of the afternoon, that entire counter would be covered in soft, warm, delicious flour tortillas, man. More tortillas on that counter than stars in the sky. Now, according to the White Western calendar, that first tortilla to make it into outer space in the year 1985 was made from a very special high-protein flour and contained enough preservatives so that it could last up to 18 months in orbit and was probably not handmade by an abuelita. Now my abuelita's hands, it was the color of wet, wrinkled wood. She had painful arthritis, but she never ever complained about it, not once. Not one of those days that she mixed the agua caliente, the manteca, and the flour in that big metal bowl every day. Now, I have heard it said by both the poets and the scientists that we're made of stars, you know? Since we're made of stars, that means mi Mama Grande's hands are made of stars, and by extension, then so are her handmade flour tortillas, man. I have no doubt. I have no doubt that my Mama Grande's tortillas are up there in el cielo mixed in with the constellations. The conejo en la luna is munching on one right now. Los southern stars, los Nahuatl, are probably smearing some mantequilla onto one of her tortillas, dripping some of that mantequilla onto the Milky Way, making it just a little bit more yellow. And whenever los ETs are in this part of the galaxy, cruising low and slow in their mothership, they always stop, pick some of mi Mama Grande's tortillas out of the night sky to take back home with them, man. The Western calendar tries to tell us that the first tortilla didn't make it to outer space until the year 1985. Shit. But we know that our abuelas and their tlaxcalis have been above us in the sky way before that, man. Our abuelas and tlaxcalis have been above us, protecting us way before that, man. Our abuelas and their tlaxcalis have been above us, way
What you don't know about Josiah is that I texted him when I got my dog, which was a couple months ago, and I was super excited, and he said, oh, what's your dog's name? And I said, Squirrel Bear Chavez. And he came today, and I said, hey, here you are, hugged him. And then he said, is that chicken? So now my dog has a new nickname, Chicken. Chicken is there with Lourdes in the second row. I think Squirrel is a fan, so yeah. I am so excited to just be hearing all of these poets, the constellation of them all. They're all so different, but all so very good and so amazing and such treasures of our community. I'm really excited to be bringing up Maw Shein Win, one of my favorite poets, multidisciplinary artist, and just all around beautiful human being. Welcome, Ma.
Thank you, MK. I am also a fan of squirrels, so I just wanted to make that public. All right. Okay. Chicken. Yeah, chicken. Hey, everyone. How you doing? Great to be here. Gorgeous day. And thank you, Megan. Thank you, Kim. I would like to dedicate this reading to the people of Burma who are struggling for democracy. I'd like to begin with an excerpt from a piece by my Burmese friend. Sorry. By my Burmese poet friend, Co-curator. What's going on in Myanmar? Nothing unusual from someone, from Burma at least. For the whole world as well, so it seems. A military coup happened. The ensuing resistance is met with bloody repression. And now there's conflict all over again. What's going on in Myanmar? The child waiter who worked at a restaurant in Saigon is now a child soldier in the resistance. Just like in the old days, street children in urban areas collect used water bottles and empty beer cans. Sirs, madams, empty bottles or beer cans, please. In the meantime, the junta remains brutal as usual. What's going on in Myanmar? Fuel price hiked, long queues at gas stations, at roadside black market fuel dealers, just like in the old days. There's a tyranny of power outage, just like in the old days. In the sweltering summer, the sales of hand fans soared. In the meantime, the junta remains brutal as usual. What's going on in Myanmar? History is repeating as farce. Just like in the old days, people queue up to refuel their disposable plastic gas lighters. Lighter flints are banned. The junta suspects that flints are used in homemade weapons. You may top up your lighter. You may not make fire without a flint. Thank you.
Basically, thank you, Megan. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Manifest Differently, for this opportunity to honor QR Hand Jr., a poet from Harlem, but lived in San Francisco since the mid to late 60s, and did the majority of his life's work as a poet, social worker, thinker, intellectual, creative here in San Francisco. You know, we have so many legends in San Francisco that don't get national shine, even local shine at times. So I just, you know, when I was asked if I wanted to paint something, QR kind of instantly came to my mind as just someone I felt like needed to be honored and celebrated, and also always such a person that was so community oriented, so people oriented, so group oriented, animal oriented, but that kind of would always shine his light on everybody else and would always put his attention into everybody else and would kind of lift everybody else before he would lift himself. So I feel like when you honor people like that, you do also honor the community from which they come from, and you know, the many voices and bodies and ideas and various struggles throughout time that QR represents, you know, from so many different struggles for liberation at so many different points in time. I mean, one of the things I hope could come clear by the three images on the right of just how much of a long distance revolutionary and radical artist he was, that really just spanned decades doing the work, not talking about it, not necessarily, again, getting some kind of big national recognition for it, but doing the work and leaving behind a legacy that we could still learn something from. And I just hope that people, you know, can look at the mural and maybe just see a name they don't know and do some research and just learn about a great person, mind, being, you know. And yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Again, thank you, Megan. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Manifest Differently. Thank y'all for being here. Shout out to all the artists and their great work.
All right, really excited to bring up Chris Gazaleh. Chris, I know you were just here. Oh, there you are. Okay, really excited to have you here. Welcome. Big round of applause, everyone, please.
Yeah. All right, how's everybody doing? Yeah, thank you for all being here. My name's Chris Gazaleh. I'm an artist. Painted this mural over here to my right, the second one from the street.
I haven't given it a title yet because it's not finished. I have to do some more details to it. But you know, the imagery I used in the mural is about Palestine. It's pretty obvious when you look at it. You know, you can tell if you know pay attention. You can tell what it's about. It's about resistance, and it's about people fighting for their homeland, people holding on to the roots, and all the while there's an attack on culture. It's an attack on people's identity, and we see this intersectionally right across the board. Like so many people being attacked for being who they are, who they're born, who they're born to be, and if you're born Palestinian, you live behind a wall, and then you have no human rights. So
Thank you so much, Chris, for sharing all of those truths and for helping to educate those of us who need to learn about these things that we don't know about. I think it's beautiful that we can share history, but also truths about our actual lives and what's actually really happening to us. So I really appreciate you coming up and sharing. All right, everyone, we're really excited to welcome Adrienne. I'm sorry, I'm going to look at the pronunciation. What? Yes, I got the first name right, Adrienne. Right? I'm doing good here, everyone. Shamszad, who will be bringing beautiful music to us, and just appreciating all of you who are sticking around and listening to the words and to the music of this beautiful day. Welcome, Adrienne.
Thank you so much for having me here, Katayoun. This is a beautiful, incredible mural to sit in front of, and I'm so glad that I psychically remembered to be color coordinated with your art. And thanks all for being here. I love being here. This is my third time performing in this alley and in my life, and I just love being out in the street and the peace that somehow kind of comes and covers amidst all of the madness on over there and over there. And I'm gonna sing, there's a little bit of like ring back on this microphone. Is there a way to just work on that? And yeah, I'll sing pretty loud and sometimes, and oh, it's a little too bright, but sorry. I'm just still getting grounded, if you don't mind me just jabbering for a moment more. Okay, so the first song I'm gonna sing was written by Marjan Vahdat, and I just wanted to sing it as sort of in response to Chris's offering and what's at stake in life for the Palestinians and for all of us here on earth in these human bodies, to just open our hearts up to the comfort and kindness of spirit, which is surrounding us and swirling within us and has a million names and a million definitions. The sort of presence of love that can guide us through the darkest of times.
If I were free.
Adrienne So as we get close to wrapping it up, we have an amazing poet coming up who's part of this project. I'm really excited to hear. And then we have a couple of other really amazing poets, one in particular that I haven't heard in a while, and one that I like to hear all the time. So our next poets are Lourdes Figueroa, then we will have Dena Rod, and then Tureeda, Mikell. Welcome, Lourdes. Yes, let's welcome Lourdes with some love.
Buenas tardes. Thank you all for being here. I'm just going to dive in. What scares me the most is you. It's been about 500 years or so. La cicatriz, nuestra lengua, así como una vagina morada dando luz, rompiéndose entera. You keep revolving around the sun, I am nothing. Los días enteros, as if no time had passed. I smoke a joint and pass out, and still the fig tree blooms, and still nothing never. We are digging graves, the earth soft, the earth wet, new buildings around each other is abuelita's ashes. And I can't repeat another poet's metaphor when their metaphor is prophecy. And the glint in a mirror, there is una flor se panchupli, color yellow, and a broken heart all at once. What is it? What is it that you want? That we want? Isn't the glistening gold of the wheat that magic hour meant to be, and the placenta after each one of us thick, purple, and meaningful? Carne somos. The echo between our apartment buildings was the echo of a human chest, La Llorona drunk on the chirp of a hummingbird and the wetness of a hatsa flower. A flower that blooms at the end of Jerusalem's summer. A flower that is impossible here. Like the impossible roses Juan Diego gathered up in the mount of Tepeyac. Otonansing. I lift my eyes to the wisp of clouds. Can you tell how alike we are? How honey drips in the same amount of time as your time. Can you feel how tenderly fragile a flower's petals are? Precious burnt honey, papelitos de regalo, deeply soft and thin. What were we trying to shout? ¿A qué pertenecemos? If not warmth of bosom, if not my face on the curve of your clavicle and in between your legs. My face felt so warm, you felt so wet and true, and the song of Llorona bounced, subiendo y bajando con la marea. My curves bounced, your skin bounced. We were whole bodies of a tribe of roses, asters, hot sauce, and marigolds, all of us, all of you, all of me.
Super excited to introduce Dena Rod, who I've not been able to see read live for, it seems, way too long. You are all in for such a huge treat. Welcome, Dena.
Salam, good afternoon, hello. Thank you all for being here this afternoon. Does everyone just take a deep breath with me? I am standing in front of Katayoun's mural, which the background of it makes up the first stanza of the poem I'll be reading to you today. But first, what we mean when we say land back. All of it. Yes, all of it. Give it back. Tear up the lawns to plant milky oat tops and poppy red bottoms. Let passion flower vines abscond with property, regulating a nervous condition colonialism invented. Crumble highways to let stallions roam, and maybe humanity will buy itself another century. Let farms become the dream home where we don't measure our health in markets or fortunes, but seeds we can plant for the next harvest. Where your neighbor can also be your salvation, and we dig up an abundance of pleasure as the new Roth IRA. Because there are many kinds of mothers, those who birth saplings and medicine, caress cuticles with soil kisses, invite relations, spirit and body. Two spirits pollinating flowers with bees to feed honey into wanting mouths, where we find the acorns, squirrels buried in the form of new trees. Young life investing new roots built through kinship. For green to again become what we wanted, to bring the eyes who needed a new place to see. For who toils in the garden, the land sees. For land back means a future for you and me. Woo! Y'all, it's a wild time to be Iranian and trans. Like, just want to put that out there, where there's like 2 nation states that are actively working against your existence is wild, because the more I am myself, the happier I am, and the more it makes everyone around me angry.
We have a special treat. We have the person who translated the words that you see. Yes. So welcome.
You're welcome. Hi, my name is Mahnaz. I'm a poet, painter, and translator, and I translated this poem by her. I'm just going to read this part, actually, which is translated, okay? هر هنگام که خورشید طلوع می‌کند به من شقایقی بده، به من شقایقی بده تا در این تاریکی چشم‌انداز دیگری بیافروزم، جایی که مرگ معشوق را میتوان زیر فرش‌های خاکی پنهان کرد، دستی برای کمک نیست. ما زنانی را میبینیم که تب آزادی دارند و با آنکه چشمانشان با گلوله کور شده است، در برابر گلوله ها مقاومند و سعی می کنند چشماندازی بسازند که در آینده بتوانند موهایشان را آزادانه به پرواز درآورند.
Thank you so much. Just another magical moment this afternoon. Okay, so we have our last poet before we have some music and then we close. And even though this is our last poet, this is certainly just one of the most amazing poets that we have here in the Bay Area. And I'm super excited to welcome Tureeda, Mikell, up to the mic. Welcome, Tureeda. Woo, lots of love.
Yes, this is good. Well, I'm always inspired listening to the various voices we have in the Bay Area. That someone might say, I don't care for that. Well, there's someone else. There's many of us, you know, there's many voices. So I'm going to be, and thank you. It made sense that you would go after her. You know, for you to come after me, that, you know, but to go, it wouldn't have made sense. So thank you, and I enjoyed your reading last night. Yes. Okay. I am. This is a bit of a work regarding being a little. How should I say? Pissed off about a number of things, but as an explainer. At the Exploratorium, there were a number of things that we looked at regarding virtual reality. So this piece is about that. There will be details. As someone at Stanford said, you used all the words. We'll see. Manifest Destiny recipe for virtual reality. Gather one group of astrophysicists and physicists. Separate 3 parts physicists to 2 parts astrophysicists. Split right and left brain hemispheres. Pair never let the right hand know what the left is doing. Ooze into a time capsule. Allow years to prepare. Stir in 100% academic self-entitlement, 100% non-systemic English conditioners with 100% Queen Liz defender of a faith. Wrapped in one God, one fate, one baptism. Break female from Holy Trinity. Detach sky chief from women, children, family. Debone natural conception's ability. Collect Adam, Eve, Mary, Joseph stories. Steep them in artificial insemination. Salt flesh heavily in sin. Mark missed, born broken. Cure virgins, women, and nuns in husband Jesus. Strip sexuality. Bathe in virtual reality. Look but don't feel, smell but don't taste, within self-flagellation. Sensory deprivation. Add, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Prepare one reel each of Frankenstein's separate wise stew. View until contradictions thicken. Combine hegemony. Lexicon, hex will run, non-causal microaggressions. Shred hormone receptors. Add menticide extract. Measure verbs, acts with nouns. Drop in spells. War is peace, slavery is freedom, ignorance is strength. Mix well. Quote in public relations house of persuasion. Repeat 7 times for adults, 14 times for children. Bind throat and feet in algorithms. Soak before boiling. Watch what is said and done before boiling. Select deceit type. Salt and pepper black lies with white lies. Allow neck to stiffen in attrition. Simmer until bipolarism ascends. Then skim magnetic poles, dislocate souls. Skim and float on canine dog obedience. Fetch, heal, stay. Obey. Poach the field therein or play. VR recipe will change accordingly. Tenderize, pan fry, vagus nerve. Infuse holograms. Reduce somatic cortex signals. Make sure there's no there. If intellect or mindfulness declines due to coming apart of the mental third eye, good. Use it. Squeeze manufactured consent into physiologic tenets. Place over high flame fear monger games. Expel cell immunity. Insert synthetic software of life. AI lipid nanos, robotic mRNA spike proteins. Sodium nitrites, nitrates, and formaldehyde. Freeze, thaw, then drizzle over synapse. Increase lethargic naps. Fold in copious amounts of gluton-rich, chemically complex carbs like Krispy Kreme donuts. Mush and brain fog, memory and bone loss. Roll in anger, fear, violence, depression. Chill in marathons of television. Merge mega media goggles. Implant Siri attention harvesting monitor. Turn on entertainment heat. Bake 60 years. Remove. Test it complete. Did insomnia, vomiting, headache, or death occur? Did disorientation, dizziness, shortness of breath, thoughts of suicide, or telomeres sever? If so, it's ready. Set the sick aside for MD, psychotherapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, and big pharma to grill or fry. Form big greasy balls of brand name trends. Blend biochemical upgrades with side effects in 100-page 3-font Greek Latin incoherence. Cream parasympathetic nervous system. Note app with device buying addiction. spread robotic voice rhythms, placed on hypermedia racks, served generously on platters that matter. Gauge how many psyches cracked or who gets fat, simulating alternative facts. You'll have consumers oblivious, autistic, lustfully numb, renunciate survival instinct, become manifested for a destiny, monetized for their blindness. This sugar-high iced tea was brought to you by the law of exclusion, masters of biz science, where sterilizing the public's mind by design without their knowledge is their most important product. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tureeda. That was beautiful. All right, everyone. We're down to our last performer. I want to welcome Ed Dang to the stage. Our last performer before we close out. I just want to acknowledge all of you who are still here. Some of you, which I think I saw earlier in the day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for paying attention to these performers. Welcome, Ed.
Hey, everybody. Bet you go fishing all the time, baby, go fishing too. Bet your life, your sweet wife, she gonna catch more fish than you. Man, a fish bite if you got good bait. Here's a little tip that I would like to relate. Come on with my pole, baby, and my line. I'm going fishing, yeah, I'm going fishing, and my baby going fishing too. Went on down to my favorite fishing hole. Now I got myself a pole and line. Caught a 9-pound cat off the bottom, yeah, got him and I brought him back home around supper time. Said, man, a fish bite if you got good bait. Here's a little tip that I would like to relate. Come on with my pole, baby, and my line. I'm going fishing, yeah, I'm going fishing, and my baby going fishing too. Little baby brother about to run me out my mind. Said, man, can I go fishing with you? Took him on down to my favorite fishing hole. What you think my brother did do? He caught a 7-pound perch off the bottom, yeah, he got him and he took him home to mama. Said, real gone, come on, the fish bite if you got good bait. I'm going fishing, yeah, I'm going fishing, and my baby going fishing too. Cook him in a pot, baby, cook him in a pan, mama cook him till they're nice and brown. Get a batch of buttermilk, oat cakes on the table, put him in the salt and scarf him on down. Said, man, the fish bite if you got good bait. Here's a little tip that I would like to relate. Come on, fish bite if you got good bait. I'm going fishing, yeah, I'm going fishing, and my baby's going fishing too.
To close, and I just want to take a moment to thank all of you who are here, who've shared your love with everyone, your words, your art, your magic. I'm gonna hand it over to Kim and Megan in a moment, and they're going to just close us out. And there is an announcement from one of the muralists, Adrienne, so pay attention to that because there's a presentation, and there's a candlelight vigil. Megan and Kim have more information about that, but I want to close up really quickly because we're a little over, but I do want to say it takes so many people to make something like this happen, and there's so many people behind the scenes who haven't been acknowledged. Vaid's been recording all day, and I just want to acknowledge him. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you everyone who shared this event, who's going to share more love about Manifest Differently, and thank you for coming out and being so present and for sharing love. And I just want to also say Dena said some beautiful words while they were reading, and I want to say, please do hire trans, love trans community, because I think Dena's right. Without the trans community, we are nowhere. So thank you so much. And welcome Kim and Megan to the stage. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey. Bye, everyone.
Before I actually close this out, I just want to say I'm not at all responsible for my children listening to the Tennessee Waltz. I was a punk. I have no idea how that one got into roots Americana music, but I mean, it's really cool, but I had nothing to do with it. It's been a long day, y'all. It's been a long, long day. I actually ran off and did a thing I never do, which is I pulled a string and said, let me read first. I used to be the poet laureate of San Francisco. I need to get back to that. So I left and came back, and I missed something I didn't want to miss. I want to say all support to the work that you do. I love your work, and it's so important. It's pretty much over, y'all. Thank you again. That's really all that I have left to say. Thank you all. Everybody's brought their heart, and I really appreciate it.
I say the same. Thank everyone for being here. MK, thank you so much for being our voice today.
That's a strength move right there. Emceeing something this long is a strength.
That is a strength. We have a couple of, we are closing out. However, there's always more. There's always extra. Especially with this project, which we love. There is going to be a performance afterwards. I'd like to bring up Katayoun Bahrami, who's one of our artists.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here today and supporting us and all the Manifest Differently poets, wonderful poets and artists. So tonight, to show our honor and respect to whoever lost their lives last year during the Women Life Freedom Movement, we're gonna have a candle vigil right here. And yeah, we appreciate you if you. However, it's not a real candle; it's the battery one, but still the candle vigil. So yeah, please, if you have time, stay for that. Thank you so much, everyone.
I have loved you from the mountains and the plains. I've loved you through the fires and the rains. I have loved you from this world and the ones beyond. I have loved you on and on and on. I will love you from a castle or a shack. I will love you through abundance and through lack. I will love you in silence and in song.